Shalom. My name is Moray Ishaya Yisrael from the House of Israel in Cincinnati, Ohio, 2330 Kemper Lane, bringing to you in 40 minutes or less. In 40 minutes or less, I will prove beyond a shadow of a doubt the word of Yahweh. Who is this Yahweh? Yahweh is the creator of the heaven, the earth, the sea, and all that is therein. Yahweh is the Elohim of our fathers, Abraham, Yitzhak, and Yisrael, whom you may know as Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Yahweh is our judge. Yahweh is our lawgiver. Yahweh is our king, who will save us. Shalom, and praise the mighty Yah. Once again, the Creator has allowed us to come before you to bring to you his great, holy, and exalted words. On our program today, program 40 minutes or less, we will continue to deal with our series on health, our 7-part series on health. This is the 4th part of our series. And this 4th part is dealing with the praise. How do we praise the Most High? And how do we praise anything for that matter? Because even Yahweh has a sure way that he desired to be praised. And how Yahweh desired to be praised is indicative on how we should praise. Little do people know there's 6 different ways in the scriptures, 6 different Hebrew words that will emphasize our praise to the Creator and our praise to one another. Make no mistake about it and no doubt about it, Yahweh deserves unequivocally his praise. It's not even a question. That's why when people go around and say all praises, this is a slap in Yahweh's face, because all praises to who? Now, if you say all praises to Yah, all praises to the Most High, all praises to Elohim, all praises to the Holy One of Israel, now you understand Yahweh's praise. Because there are no scriptures where the scriptures will tell you all praises. All praises to who? And furthermore, we would even show you how we praise one another. But let's get right to it, because I will prove all these things in 40 minutes or less. Because it don't take 40 minutes, considerably less most times, to prove the word of Yahweh. And let us start in the scriptures, and we're going to start in the book of Proverbs. No, let's start in the book in Genesis. Genesis, the 29th chapter. Because this is one of the first times you will see the word praise in the scriptures. Let me show you the origin of this word. The first Hebrew word concerning praise actually comes from something that you should be familiar with. It comes from the Hebrew word yada, which comes from the name of Yehuda. Yes, let me show you where you will find this in the book of Genesis, the 29th chapter, the 35th verse. Watch what it says, 29 verse 35. And we're talking about, this is lesson 48 on our series of health, the 4th part of our series. And we're talking about the praises of the Most High. Watch this. Genesis 29, verse 35. And let's start at 35. And she conceived again and bore a son, and she said, now will I will praise Yahweh. She had 3 other sons before this, and she never said that. Because praise, just like everything, has a time and a season, so do Yahweh praises. And when she had this 4th son, she said, now I will praise Yahweh. Therefore she called his name Yehuda and left bearing. In other words, the name Yehuda signifies her praises towards the Most High. But what do this Yehuda or Yada actually mean? What type of praise is it? Well, I'm going to show you the type of praise it really is. You'll find this in the Hebrew Concordance 3034. So if you want to look it up. Another place where it says this, in the book of Genesis, the 49th chapter, the 8th verse. This is what it says. Genesis 49 and 8. Yehuda, thou art he whom thy brethren shall praise, which is Yehuda again, or Yada. Thy hand shall be in the neck of thy enemies. Thy father's children shall bow down before thee. Why? Because they will be kings. And that's what you do with the rulers of Israel. Kings, they will be praised. And I'm going to show you that also further. But now that we see one of the first words used to demonstrate praise is Yehuda or Yada, I will also show you exactly what this praise actually means. Because we got to understand how we praising the Most High. So in the book of Genesis 49, we read Yehuda's going to be praised, but watch this. I want you to see this. This is in the book of Leviticus. This is the law. Leviticus 26. And this is what it says in the 40th verse. Leviticus 26 and 40. It says, if they shall confess their iniquity and the iniquity of their fathers with their trespass, which they trespassed against me, and that also they have walked contrary unto me, and that I also have walked contrary unto them, and have brought them into the land of their enemies, if then their uncircumcised hearts be humbled, and they then accept of the punishment of their iniquity, then will I remember my covenant with Yaakov, and also my covenant with Yitzhak, and also my covenant with Abraham or Abraham will I remember, and I will remember the land. And people might say, well, I didn't see the word praise in there. Because it just don't mean praise. We got to break this word down. When it says, and they shall confess, that word confess, what do you think it means? It means Yada or Yehuda. In other words, if you're not praising Yah by confessing your shortcomings, your iniquities, your transgressions, your faults. In other words, that is a sign of humility to Yahweh. And you got to learn how to confess. And here it is. We have Day of Atonement every year, and we have people who refuse to confess on the Day of Atonement in the midst of the congregation. I don't know when they confess. But when is the best time to confess your sin? The most important time to confess your sins? Wouldn't it not be in the sanctuary where you have many people who refuse to do it? Maybe they just don't understand what the word praise actually means, or the word yada actually means. It means to confess. Watch this. Also in the book of Proverbs, look it up for yourself, 30:34. Proverbs 28. And watch this. In the book of Proverbs 28, this is what it says in the 13th verse. He that covereth his sin shall not prosper, but whoso yada, Yahuda, and forsaketh them shall have mercy. In other words, confess. That is the first way that you praise Yah, by humility. The second way you praise Yah come from the Hebrew word zamar. We have people in our community, my daughter named Zamira. It comes from the Hebrew word zamar. In your concordance 2167, it is the second word that I've seen how one should praise Yahweh. Watch this in the book of Psalms 147, which I may add, the book of Psalms is a book of praise. And every word that I'm telling you is found in the book of Psalms. All these words. And I only found 6. Psalms 147. This is what it says. As I said, there's 6 words that you want to know about. Psalms 147 and 1. This is what it says. Praise ye Yah, for it is good to sing praises unto our Elohim, for it is pleasant and praise is calmly. In other words, it's describing the type of praise one should have. Zamar means to sing. So Yahweh like to be sung to. Yahweh loves singing. He loves song. And this is one of the ways that you praise Yahweh. It's good. It's pleasant. It is calmly, which means beautiful. Also in the book of Psalm 57 and 7, talking about how we praise the Most High. Psalm 57 and 7, you're going to see it's not different than how we should be praising one another when we are fit for the praise. Psalm 57, watch what it says. The 7th verse. My heart is fixed, O Elohim. My heart is fixed. I will sing and give praise. In other words, anytime you see this word sing and song, and you're dealing with this word Zamira. And watch this in the book of Psalms 104. Just giving you a few witnesses to what I'm saying, to prove what I'm saying is the truth. Look it up, 2167, 104 and 33, and this is what it says. I will sing unto Yah as long as I live. I will sing praise to my Elohim while I have my being. And why? Because it's good. Why? Because it's pleasant. Why? Because it's beautiful. And you mean to tell me that won't help your health? That won't restore your health? The third word is tefillah. You'll find this in the book of Psalms as well, 84:16. Let's go to Psalms 33. I'm breaking down all 6 words that I sing that describes praise, praising our Elohim. Here it is in Psalms 33. It says in the first verse, rejoice in Yahweh, O ye righteous, for praise is beautiful for the upright. In other words, the only people that's going to do this is upright people and righteous people, but it's a beautiful thing to Yahweh. And when you begin to start learning how to do beautiful things, learn how to be righteous and upright, then you'll understand how important praise really is. This comes from the Hebrew word tefillah. It says in the book of Psalms 51. Let us turn there. Psalms 51. This is lesson 48 on health, part 4. The praises, or you can put the law. And I'm going to show you why you put the law. Psalms 51. And this is what it says in the 15th verse. O Yahweh, open thou my lips, and my mouth shall show forth thy praise. In other words, just open up my mouth, Yah. I'm not going to talk foolish. I'm not going to scorn. I'm not going to hate. What's going to come out of my mouth is the praises of Yahweh. Why else should your mouth be open? This is what it says in Psalm 119. That's why I love this word tefillah, because in Psalms 119, it lets you know how one must begin to really learn how to use this word. Here it is in Psalms 119, verse 171. This is what it says. My lips shall utter praise when thou hast taught me thy statutes. You got to be taught how to praise Yahweh. Tefillah is when you praying. And you want to know how to pray. And you will know if you learn the statutes of the Most High. The fourth word comes from the Hebrew word halal. You'll hear this word a lot. Hallelujah or hallelujah. In the concordance is 1984. And watch how this word is used. First is in the book of Proverbs 27. Proverbs 27, watch what it says. Verse 1 and 2. Boast not thyself of tomorrow. In other words, the word boast, when you boasting in something, that's praise. That's halal. Boast not thyself of tomorrow, for thou knowest not what a day may bring forth. Don't mean don't plan for tomorrow. Don't talk about tomorrow. Don't be inspired by tomorrow. It just means don't boast of tomorrow. Because you don't know what a day may bring forth. Watch what it says. The second verse. Let another man praise thee. In other words, let another man boast in thee, and not thy own mouth. A stranger, and not thy own lips. Let other people talk about you in a good way or a bad way. But don't talk about yourself. That's not good. That's not wisdom to the Most High. Watch what it says. And too many of our people, they boast of themselves. They feeling themselves. Rather than allowing others to do so. Watch this. Proverbs 28. The fourth verse. This is what this halal means. It's talking about you boasting in something. It says, they that forsake the law, they praise the wicked. But such as keep the law, contend with them. And how do you contend with the wicked? By boasting in Yahweh. Boasting in his laws, commandments, statutes, and judgment. Boasting in his testimonies. Boasting in his word. Not these other books. Not the things of the world and these psychologists and psychiatrists and these so-called doctors and physicians. No, it's Yahweh we got to learn. It's his word we got to learn so that we can learn how to really praise, how to really boast, how to really halal. In the book of Proverbs 31, another scripture that I absolutely love, and watch what it says in the 28th verse. Her children arise up and call her blessed. Her husband, her master also. And he praising her. In other words, he boasted her. And why? Because she's a virtuous woman. This is the woman that won't do him no evil all her days. This is the woman that's tirelessly working and never complaining about the work that she got to do and how much she got to do and how long she got to do it and when she got to do it and when she going to have her time. No, this is not that woman. This is a virtuous woman, and she should be praised. Watch the 30th verse. This same woman. Favor is deceitful. Beauty is vain. But a woman that feareth Yahweh, she shall be halal. In other words, she shall be praised. Because praise is zamar. It's beautiful. It's pleasant. It's good. And then watch the 31st verse. Give her of the fruit of her hands, and let her own works allow her in the gates. In other words, her works will bring forth the praise that she get. But if you're not working and your work is half worked, half baked, ill-willed, how can you deserve, how could you expect, how could you even want praise, and you know your work is faulty? The fifth word that I seen that describes praise come from the Hebrew word shabach, 7623 in your concordances. Another word that I love in the book of Ecclesiastes, the 4th chapter, because we're talking about your health. We're talking about the praises of the Most High. We're talking about really the law. Because if you're not praising Yahweh, you're praising the wicked. If you're not keeping the law. Watch this. Ecclesiastes, the 4th chapter. Let us turn there. And this is what it says. Ecclesiastes, the 4th chapter, the Hebrew word shabach, in the 2nd verse. Wherefore I praise the dead, which are already dead, more than the living, which are yet alive. Here's this people. We have very prominent people, love people, people who was very instrumental in our life. They're past. They're gone. But we will praise them more than we praise the living. And why? Because the dead can't do nothing for you now. And then as soon as we die, then everybody want to praise us. But why would you praise the dead more than the living? While we here, while we living, while we alive, should not then we should get our praise? Why when we dead? Think about that. Also in the book of Ecclesiastes, the 8th chapter. Watch what it says. Talking about health, part 4. In Ecclesiastes, the 8th chapter, and this is what it says in the 15th verse. Show you why I love this so much. Then I commended. In other words, then I praised. I shabach. Then I commended mirth, because a man have no better thing under the sun. Now watch what he said. I understand what you think is the best under the sun, but watch what the wisest man said was best under the sun. Then I commended mirth, because a man have no better thing under the sun than to eat, to drink, and to be merry. For that shall abide with him of his labor the days of his life. which Elohim giveth him under the sun. In other words, simple things in life is the best things in life. And we take the simple things for granted. Instead of embracing these simple things, loving these simple things, and celebrating these simple things. Watch what it says. Proverbs 29 on Shabbat, which simply means also praise. But it's a certain type of praise. It's the praise that you do every day. Eat, drink, be merry. It's mirth, that type of praise. Watch this. Proverbs 29. And this is what it says in the 11th verse. A fool uttereth all his mind. In other words, a fool got to address everything. A fool got to tell you everything. A fool wants you to know all their issues and problems, and they got to utter all his mind. But a wise man keepeth it until afterwards. In other words, when you have wisdom, you keep it in afterwards because you know what to say, what to reveal, what to talk about, what is relevant. You're not like a fool that uttereth all his mind. Because when you utter all your mind, this is not praise at all. This is foolishness. And the opposite of foolishness is praise. Either you being a fool or you, because a fool praise the wicked. But the upright praise the Most High. Watch this. The last word, the sixth word that I see that describes, it is only a couple places in the scriptures, but I'm going to just point out this one place, and it's in Psalm 72. It's the Hebrew word barak, which means to bless. Now, this word means to bless, but it also means to praise. And here it is in Psalm 72, which I may add, in Psalm 72, this is what the last very verse says. In Psalm 72, verse 20, it says, the prayers of David, the son of Jesse, are ended. In other words, this is one of his last songs that he wrote. Now, they got these songs listed wrong. They got them in all different type of places. But according to this, David only wrote 72 different songs, which is almost half of the songs that's written. There's only 150 written. And there's 3 shy. In other words, he almost wrote 50% of the songs. Moses got some songs. Solomon's got some songs. Asaph got some songs. And some others. But David wrote 72 of these beautiful songs. And look what it says. In this Psalm 72, the 15th verse. And before I read this 15th verse, I'm going to read down to the 15th verse so you can understand exactly what this is saying. In the first verse, give the king of thy judgment, O Elohim, and thy righteousness unto the king's son. This is what David was saying to his son, or he's praying to Yahweh. He shall judge thy people with righteousness, thy poor with judgment. The mountains shall bring peace to the people, the little hills by righteousness. He shall judge the poor of the people. He shall save the children of the needy, and shall break in pieces the oppressor. They shall fear thee as long as the sun and the moon endure, throughout all generations. It's talking about the king. Watch this. He shall come down like rain upon the mown grass, as showers that water the earth. In his days shall righteous flourish, abundance of peace so long as the moon endureth. He shall have dominion also from sea to sea. Talking about the king. And from river unto the ends of the earth. They that dwell in the wilderness shall bow down before him. His enemies shall lick the dust. The kings of Tarshish of the isles shall bring presents. The kings of Sheba and Seba shall offer gifts. Yea, all the kings shall fall down before him. All nations shall serve him. For he shall deliver, and this is why the king is so great, the righteous king. For he shall deliver the needy when he crieth, the poor also, and him that have no helper. He shall spare the poor and the needy, and shall save the souls of the needy. He shall redeem their soul from deceit and violence. Precious shall their blood be in his sight, and he shall live. And to him shall be given of the gold of Sheba. Prayer also shall be made for him continually, and daily shall he be praised. Talking about the King of Israel. Daily shall he be praised. And this word praise comes from the Hebrew word Barak or Baruch, which means also daily he shall be blessed. But in this verse, he shall be praised. And it lets you know exactly why he should be praised. Until our next lesson, Yahweh love you, and so do I. Shalom.